What's this? What's this? I don't have a song, so yeah. So here's some news that'll make you go, what is this? That's right. Today, it was officially announced by Disney that there will be a Nightmare Before Christmas 2, ... in comic form. Yep, we're getting a comic book sequel to A Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah. In 2018, I should have mentioned that earlier. In 2018, I would imagine somewhere in fall, because, holidays and all that, we are getting a comic book sequel to one of my favorite animated films, probably one of my favorite movies of all time. So as you can imagine, I'm totally friggin' ecstatic over this. I am so happy, you guys don't even know. Oh my god, I am so ecstatic. Night Before Christmas was one of the first Disney movies I ever saw as a child. And knowing, as most of you guys know, that was released under Touchstone because Disney was kind of really worried about having that under the license, so they brought it they're more under Touchstone. But in the recent years, after you've seen the popularity of Nightmare Before Christmas, Disney's been like, yeah, that's totally us. They're owning up to it. This is ours. And it's funny too, because I was at a convention yesterday, and I actually ran into the Nightmare Before Christmas manga, which is a manga adaptation of the movie. And I was looking at that, I was like, I don't have enough money to spend on all that. So I was kind of left I was pretty much left what was I going with this? I was kind of I can't get it, sadly. But yeah, and then the next day, I get this news. So as you can imagine, it's almost like the universe was telling me, oh, don't worry, you're going to get a chance. Now, from the article I read, it said that it was going to be released under Marvel. And that makes sense because Disney's been doing Marvel stuff for them for a while. They did Haunted Mansion, they did Great Mountain Thunder Railroad, I think they're going to do Space Mountain as one of them. And I know they've done a few others comic books based on the ride. I think they did Splash Mountain, did they? I want to say yes, but I could be wrong. But yeah, they've done stuff on Disney. They've done Disney stuff, and IDW also is doing Disney comics as well. As we know, they're doing Scrooge, they're doing DuckTales, they're doing the reboot DuckTales. They're also doing Mickey Mouse. They're doing Donald Duck. A lot of the younger cartoons. But this is going to be so I would imagine because again, it was just the one article I read, but this is going to be done, I think it may be done under Marvel, but it could easily be done by IDW. So, either way, I'm fine. Now, this is going to be a direct sequel to the film, to the original film, and, I'm really excited. Now, the question is, where do you go from the original film? Obviously, you would have Jack and Sally be in a relationship, you would have Oogie Boogie gone, and technically there was a sequel. Lest we not forget Nightmare Before Christmas 2, Oogie's Revenge. And I'm kind of wondering now, are they going to mention Oogie's Revenge as a game, because that was in canon? So, or are they just going to not acknowledge Oogie's Revenge and just make it its own thing? Because not everyone's played Oogie's Revenge, unless you're well, a lot of people have, but I would imagine that, what was I going to say? I would imagine that people have some knowledge of Night Before Christmas of the game, even though the story is pretty interesting. Gameplay, however, as I recall, because I played that game a few times, and as I recall, the story was pretty interesting, but the gameplay was so goddamn janky. Oh my god. That gameplay was so agonizing, and the save system was so bugged up. It was so buggy. Also, when you went to go save, if you guys remember this, you remember the little creature, the little guy with the hats, with the dudes inside his hat, and that was the save point. And there was a cutscene where it would talk about, save now or save later, and it would do that cutscene every time. Also, the camera angles were really messed up. And I don't mean to complain about that game, it's just that, like I said, the story was really cool. And looking back on it in gameplay footage, it's a concise story. But when you're playing that game, Oh, I wanted to rip my hair out. Oh, no, thank you. No, ma'am. No, thank you. So yeah, that's my thing. Is that I wonder if they're going to acknowledge. Getting back to the subject, of course, are they going to acknowledge Oogie's revenge, or are they just going to do their own thing? I'm fine either way. I know a lot of fans would want them to acknowledge Oogie's revenge if this is a direct sequel. And maybe they will, maybe they'll do it in passing, or it might be its own story. And yeah, as you guys remember, when I did a Q&A about a year or so back on Night Before Christmas for what my idea for a sequel to Nightmare Before Christmas would be. I said that my idea would be that I would have it that it's been a while since Jack's been, toying around with the other seasons, but the other holidays come to Halloween Town and accuse Jack that he has been messing around with their holiday, because Christmas is being damaged, Valentine's Day, all of them are actually they're losing stuff. Their stuff is being stolen from them, and they're all like, "Yeah, we know it. Jack, you did this about a while ago with Santa Claus, and the fact that it's following all your patterns." But it turns out that it would be that Jack is trying to figure out, trying to clear his name, and he discovers that it was Krampus. That is Krampus would be the big villain of this, and he's trying to discredit Jack, use Jack as a scapegoat, and admittedly, yeah, it's very much like Rise of the Guardians, only instead of the Boogeyman, it's because the Boogeyman already got eviscerated by Jack. And yeah, but Krampus, that's kind of like, that would make sense, wouldn't it? But yeah, that's again, I won't be bummed if they don't use Krampus, and yeah, there's so much story potential in Halloween Town itself. You really don't even need to go outside of Halloween Town. There's so much of that world we haven't seen. Unless, of course, you count Kingdom Hearts and exploring that world. But still, all in all, I think this is a really cool idea. I'm very hyped to see where they're going to go with this. I am very... I can't wait for next year, because we've got that. And I think there's another... Oh, yeah, we've got all the sequels coming out. We've got a few other sequels here and there coming out in comic book form or otherwise. So, this is just another icing on the cake for 2018, right? Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of A Nightmare Before Christmas 2 getting a comic book sequel? Are you guys excited, or are you guys not? And also, do you want them to acknowledge Oogie's revenge, or do you want to see something done outside of that? Once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.